give you guys just a second here. I can see the chat, so that's a good sign. Okay, woohoo, we're back. I'm so sorry. I hope we didn't lose anybody. I know that technical difficulties are not really the best thing to happen, but sometimes they do. So I decreased the bitrate again on the output. So I'm hoping that that kind of helped fix the problem. I am streaming from a laptop, unfortunately not my desktop, but I'm building a new desktop now. So hopefully I can use the old one for streaming in here. I'll put it in here and use that. So again, we were just kind of replicating what we did on the other side with our large-eyed needle, just kind of randomly just threading the ribbon through the braids. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. We're just kind of doing this for a little bit of aesthetic flair to add a little bit of color to the hairstyle. And every time I do this, I'm trying to make sure the ribbon is laying flat on the braid. So it takes a little bit of finagling, but I think it's worth it in the end because then you get that nice pop of color. So we're just kind of, I'm going into like the V's of the braid, so like the little V shapes, because I tend to braid overhand, so the V's face downwards, and if you braid underhand, they're going to face upwards. So either or, you know, whichever braid style is easier for you, do that. But I'm going into like the bottoms of the V's. So whichever direction your V's are pointing, go into the pointy part. Alright, this is my last section here. Again, I'm very sorry we lost everybody. I'm sorry, I decreased the bit rate, so hopefully it doesn't happen again. Oh, nice, okay. So I'm going to take this needle again, and I'm going to go through the rubber band to kind of like tie it off. I don't think the focus is very good there. I'm basically just adding it to the hair that's at the end of the braid. Like this. It is a rubber band, you know, so it has a little bit of resistance, but that way the ends are all taken care of. So now we have this, first of all, this style alone is, this is already beautiful. You can easily just take these two pieces and, you know, kind of like get them together with like a clip here or a flower. But what I think we're gonna do here is make like a braid headband with them. So to do that, you can do what I would normally do, and I will not do here for the sake of time, is I would pull out little hairs on each loop of the braid just to give it a little bit of like a fluffier, flowery appearance, just on whichever side is going to be the outside. But we're not going to do that today for the sake of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross over one section, going to turn the wig head as I do this, and I'm going to bring it around town up to the top of the wig right here. I'm going to very cleverly cover up where I have exposed wefts, and I'm going to pin this loose end up here at the top, and I'm going to put some pins in here on the side. So pinning on the top, and you should have bobby pins that are the color of your wig, but if you don't like me, it's fine. I use brown all the time. No one has called me out for it yet, so I don't think they will. And I'm also going to pin down, I'm going to pin down the ribbon as well. So just going into the wefts to pin that as well. Alright, and so now I'm going to take the other side, the second braid, and we're going to go across and around, up the side. I'm going to pull her down a hair over here maybe. She's a little bit loose, that's fine. We'll leave her there. I actually didn't put any on this side like I said I would, so I'm going to do that now so that it doesn't move. And if you ever want something to really stay, you want to crisscross your bobby pins like an X, like this. And that's just gonna, the bobby pins are essentially just like pinching each other into place. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so now we're gonna do the other side. So I'm taking this second length of hair, wrapping it around. I'm gonna cover where I have exposed wefts and also cover my other tail. I'm gonna put some pins around here, and I'm gonna put some pins up here on the top. So, I also want to pin down this ribbon. So, I'm going into like the underside of the braid so that my pins, my bobby pins, aren't as visible. That's one way you can hide your bobby pins in a wig, is using putting them in the bottoms of braids. So again, crisscrossing these, and I want this to go under that ribbon through the back of the braid as much as possible. Sometimes you can't win the battle with the wig, and that's okay. And I'll cover this one here. And then I'm going to pin down this top here. I just need a few more inches of height. That's all I need. Just a few more. And I have a little bit of a loose ribbon here. So I'll turn so you guys can see. So I'm just going to tuck her underneath the other braid. And now we have this, if I can get that tucked under there pretty well, just tuck it out of the way. No one will see that. There we go. So now we have this really beautiful, like, braided headband, corset laced look, which is admittedly not symmetrical because I took more hair from one side than I did from the other. Let me loosen up this side. And that's the other thing about wigs, is sometimes you just kind of have to like finagle it and loosen it and work around things as you go. So I'm actually going to pull this first section that I did down a little bit, filling that out with pins so that it mirrors the other side. Just pin in there very well. As I speak with a mouthful of pins, I do apologize for that. So I'm just pinning down these loose ends again. To hide them. Oh my goodness, there's so many pins I can't even open them with my mouth. And so now we have this kind of like loose weirdness going on here with the corset lacing. So what I would recommend doing is finding the ends and just pulling them a little bit tighter. And then once you're into the ribbon that's through the braids, you can just kind of easily work it up the braid and kind of hide it in like the backs of the braid. So you might not be able to see what I'm doing too well, but I think you get the idea here. So I'm just gonna kind of pull this, separate this out, and figure out where this tension is going. It's on this side. Just kind of, these loops might get a little bit big if you have this issue come up, so I'm just work it into the braid part, and then you can bobby pin it down if it's really causing you an issue. Putting this through the wig, through and up and around. I've actually got a pretty good length here, so I'm just going to take a bobby pin and bobby pin it in place so nobody can know that it is there. Alright, and we've done it. So we've finished our style. I think this side especially looks, well, let me take that back. I'm gonna hide this loose piece of ribbon pretty well. Excuse me as I box the box and it scoots around. So, just gonna pin down this loose part of the ribbon. A few less pins. You can never have too many bobby pins in a wig, I promise you. It will hold your style where it needs to be just about as much as got to be glue will. So I need to fix this one that I messed up. And I'll get this pin in here. There we go. Alright, now she's done. So from the front, we just have this nice kind of like braided headband look, which might be a little hard to see. And then from the side and the back, it's almost like a braided like flower crown kind of deal. And we have this beautiful corset lacing in the back, which got a little bit asymmetrical here. Thank you whoever just joined the Discord. Thank you. So obviously you can do this yourself, take some more time and make it a little bit more symmetrical. Again, I was kind of doing this on the fly. I was a little inspired, so that's why I came up with this like cross braided look. And if your wig isn't this long, you can certainly continue the same way that I did on this other wig, which is just to continue lacing the braid all the way down to the end, tie it off, and tuck the ends under. So this was it. We did our first style. Woohoo! So we're gonna take a quick break while I switch wigs. So I'll turn up the music, and if you guys have any questions, now is a good time to put them in chat, because I'm gonna swap out the wig that's on this wig stand, and we're gonna get to cutting bangs. I'm gonna turn off my camera for just a moment. We're still here, I promise. I'm just switching wigs. Switching wigs. We're switching wigs and we will be back shortly. Alright, the wig is off the stand, and now in its place is just a head. To show you guys something, I now realize that the female heads, few tidbits about this is that the female heads are naturally crooked. This is pretty level, and you can see she has this weird like tilt to her head. They are all like this. I haven't found one that's straight in a long time. But also my head is kind of big and the wig head is smaller than my head, and I wanted to make sure that my wigs were styled realistically, so I added a Chipotle bag with some packing tape to the back until it was the same diameter as my head. So you guys will probably see a lot of that. Alright, so the wig that we're going to cut the bangs for is a Lock Shop Mermaid. So just to show you guys what this looks like uncut. This is like a curly, flowy wig. I'm having trouble getting it over this wig head here. So she's a curly, flowy wig, but these bangs are super duper long. Super long. So that's not gonna work for me because I don't like them being in my eyes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this wig on my body, because we don't cut bangs on the wig head. The reason for that is you want to cut them based on where the wig is sitting on your head when you wear it, not where it's sitting on the wig head when the wig head wears it. Because the wig head could have like a shorter forehead than you do, or just a different face shape, and maybe you cut the bangs and it doesn't look good when you put it on your body. So definitely wear the wig when you're cutting it. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna put on a wig for you guys so you can see my wig wearing process really quick. So I already prepped my hair to wear this wig, and a question I got asked, I think in the Discord, that I forgot to answer last stream was, somebody asked, how do I keep my wigs on? So the first step is I almost, disclaimer, almost, not quite always, I almost always French braid my hair under my wigs. I have a lot of hair, so you can see it's French braid all the way from the back. And then what I do is I grab my wig cap. Sorry. The wig caps that I prefer to use are the mesh wig caps that have a hole in the middle. Make sure you can see through it. These are just way more comfortable. They're really stretchy. This one's actually really soft. And I got it with the wig. I didn't like choose it at checkout. They just gave me one anyway. So if you want to order a Lock Shop wig, I recommend going through Kudoshido Kawaii. because they sent me this free wig cap, and I'm very grateful because I need a new one. So I put the wig cap around my neck and then up over my face, and I just trap my bangs in there. I've got a bit of a widow's peak, so you can see that poking out there. I want to make sure all of my bangs are under here because I did just recently cut them. They don't need cut again. And then what I'm going to do with my braids is I'm going to cross them over, kind of like what we did with our hairstyle. So I'm going to cross the right one over to the left and the left one over to the right, and this is underneath that net. I'm going to grab the bottom of the net and pull it up, kind of shake everything around. I'm going to twist the end and I'm going to bobby pin it like right here. Duolingo is telling me I need to speak Japanese today. I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to bobby pin this in place. And we're ready for wig wearing. So we're going to take her off of here. I'm very nervous to do this, let alone on stream. But I know a lot of people have been asking about it. And it's not the easiest thing to do. So I certainly don't mind. Oh, if you want to know something cool about Lock Shop Wigs, which I just noticed, the part here that goes at like your hairline, this is like super soft. Feels like felt, but it's so like satiny soft. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever noticed that before. I'm not sure if that was in their older wigs or not. Anyway, I put all my wigs back to front, and the reason why I wore this coordinate is because I thought that this wig color would go with it pretty well. And I think it does. So now we've got the wig on, and I'm going to scooch up to my mirror here, and I'm going to try and figure out where this wig is going to sit normally when I wear it. So, oh gosh, look at how long these bangs are, guys. This is ridiculous. I feel like some sort of weird anime character. So I'm just going to get them out of the way for a second now. This wig cap feels a little bit small. So this part here, where this little spiral is, that's generally supposed to be like the top of the wig, and it's just not sitting there for me right now. And then there's two little like tabs. Those should be at your temples. So when I wear my wigs, I always pin those in place with bobby pins so they don't move. So I'm going to do that now. So I've got one on this side. You may feel a little bit of tugging, and over the course of the day, it may just kind of give you a little bit of like a tension headache, but I think it's worth it to make sure that the wig isn't moving. And then I'm going to also pin the back. I usually put 2 or 3 in the back. I think I'm just going to do 1 because this is, in the interest of time. And then I would also put 1 like at the crown of my head, just as like a last resort. I don't want this wig to move at all. So I want to try to get through the wig cap and all the way down to my braids with this pin, and I'm honestly not penetrating the wig very well. So I'm going to go a little bit farther back and get that pin in there. Alright, so like you can see, these bangs aren't a terrible length if I brush them to the side. It's kind of passable. I'll throw the beret back on. The beret is very tight with the wig now. The wig's way better, way bigger. So here it is with the wig. But again, like I said, the bangs are long. They're very long. They're very, very long. If this was a case for wig versus no wig, just take a look earlier at the VOD once it's up live, and you'll see like my real hair versus the wig and which one you think looks better. I think wig almost always looks better, but I am very lazy sometimes to wear my own hair, and I shouldn't. I should wear a wig because it looks nicer. Okay, so this is coming off, and I don't want these bangs to be super duper short. I don't want them to go straight across, I think I'm gonna do swoop with this. Sorry, this little loop of hair is from the braid. It just wasn't braided very tightly. So I'm just gonna kind of get that out of the way best I can, maybe behind my ear. because there's some bang hair in here as well. So I'm just going to try to grab all the bang hair best I can from these parts of the wig. I think I'm going to take the rest and just put some bobby pins in it to hold it out of the way. I know you're going to see my real hair here for a second because this wig cap is a little bit small on me. I don't think I've had that problem in the past with lock stop wigs, but who knows, maybe it's just this particular style might be a little small for me, but I have a big head, so. Okay, so now we're gonna cut these bangs. Oh gosh. So there's some extra flyaways in here. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna cut, it's hard to see them, they're these little flyaways here. I'm gonna cut them to be the same length as the rest of the bangs. And below me here, I have a Tupperware tub. So all of my loose hairs will fall in the Tupperware tub, and I'll put them in this bag I have aside from me. But you can also take like a trash bag and lay down on the ground. So I'm just gonna cut all those loose hairs, and I'm gonna pull down and make sure I got them all. Alright, I'm also gonna take off my wrist cuffs because I'm a little bit paranoid about cutting them. So we're gonna get those out of the way. Anything you're afraid of cutting, get it out of the area. And now I'm gonna grab I think I have a parting comb here somewhere, but if I can't find it, I will just use the regular wide tooth comb. And I'm gonna comb through these bangs until they are essentially combed straight. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do, and again, I'm just like making sure this wig is exactly where it's gonna be when I wear it. Mostly because I want these to be straight and I don't want them to be too short. I feel like almost every wig I have cut has been too short. So I'm gonna start very long. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my comb underneath the hair like this, so it's out of my face, out of my way. And I think I only want to take them to about here. So I'm just gonna do this a few times with my fingers, just kind of like feeling it out, I want the strands to be like flat straight across. I don't want there to be a section that's too thick. Okay. And so now I'm going to, oh my goodness, where do I want this to be? Like here? I'm gonna cut it a little bit long. This is so terrifying. Cutting a wig on stream, my goodness, not in the bathroom. So that's a start. So already they look a little bit neater because I cut them straight across, but they're still a little bit long. They will definitely work for the swoop style, which is kind of how I plan them to be. So I might leave them like this. Yeah, I think that this length is gonna work for these bangs, but I did need just that little bit of, just need like a little bit of trimming. However, the ends are just kind of all flat and a little bit chunky. So what you can do to thin that out is, again, we're gonna go through and grab these wig hairs, these little bangs. I'm gonna get them into my fingers. Try to make sure they're like nice and flat here. Feels like I have real hair. I know I don't have real hair, but it just feels like I do. And I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut upwards like this into the little hairs. And what that's gonna do is just kind of like thin it out and make it a little bit less chunky. So I know this is like a nightmare to look at. So I'm doing this from very far away, not in front of a mirror. I mean, there is a mirror, but I'm not looking at it. Sorry, this hair was in, I didn't like it. Gonna take this. So I'm just gonna take like a little section at a time. I'm just gonna cut upwards, and it's just gonna thin out the bottom of the bangs and make them look a little bit more natural. And I think next week, these bangs, you can see they have like a little bit of like a swoop to them. and I think they need straightened, so maybe we can do some heat treating next week. So same thing here, just gonna thin out the bottoms of the bangs, just like this. Just coming upward and down on this last section here, and again, just kind of going like this. Don't need to go very far, just a little bit. I'm gonna take my comb, and I'm just gonna brush through them, get all those extra little baby hairs out. And, oh my gosh, it looks so much better. I think, yeah, we want to go this way, which is the way I naturally do my hair. And I always pull like one little piece to the left side to kind of cover the seam where the wig meets your hair. And there we go, we cut some bangs on a wig, oh my goodness. Now as for cutting bangs into a wig, oh there's a little wig hair on my eyelash. As for cutting bangs into a wig that isn't made with bangs, that's a different story. I haven't done that before. I'm gonna go ahead and put this beret back on so I feel a little bit more complete. Because I need the coordinate to feel complete as we end this stream here with this very brief tutorial on cutting bangs. I'm not 100% confident on cutting bangs into wigs that have never had them to begin with. So I'll show you an example of a wig like that. It's actually right here. This is an Arta wig, and you can see here that the part here in the middle, there's no bangs here. It just goes from one side to another. Now this wig does have a pretty generous skin top here, like it's very thick. I could pretty much part this wherever I want and you wouldn't see any wefts. So I could cut bangs into this wig. I would just need to heat treat the wig to get the hair laying the way that I want it to lay. So if I want them to go forward, I would need to, section off where I want the bangs to start. So usually bangs are pretty thin. They're just like maybe half an inch maximum from the, what's this called? Like your widow's peak if you have one. That's the start of your hairline. And then I would comb all that hair forward, I'd hold the rest back, and then I would heat treat the bangs to get them straight because they have this part in them that's pretty, it's pretty bare. We gotta get that kink out of the hair. Then once they are going the direction I want them to go, I would cut the bangs into the wig. So that's how I would try to approach it for a wig that didn't have them to begin with. But if you have a wig with the bangs on them and you're just looking to trim them to fit your styling a little bit more, you can certainly do what I just did just now. And I do highly recommend cutting them on yourself. Hopefully not in full Lolita or full makeup, because they're definitely baby hair stuck to my mascara right now. And it is just a little bit painful. But beauty is pain, and I needed to show you guys how to cut bangs because so many people asked about it. So if you missed anything from this panel, if you missed how to do this style here, or an abridged version where we took these two braids and we looped them around the back and we made like a braided headband with ribbon in it, watch the VOD. I think it'll be split into two sections because we did have that interruption midstream. We also will be taking the videos and uploading them to our YouTube, which should be J Fashion On Demand. You just search that on YouTube, you should find our channel. We also have a second channel, J Fashion On Demand 2, and we'll put some like smaller content there, maybe some like behind the scenes, work in progress, just here and there odds and ends that didn't really fit on the main channel. So please like and subscribe our YouTube and follow our Discord. The follow button should be down here. If you have anything to say in chat, I can try to answer some questions, and then we'll wrap this up. So let me see. Oh, could I please say hi to your sister, Keka Pocha? Well, hello. Oh yes, and Alexis linked to the main channel. So hi everybody. Somebody's speaking French, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, so again, thank you so much for watching. If you have other questions, you can also put them in the Discord. Our Discord, maybe we can link somewhere. Or you can follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitch, down here, the little heart button. Or like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. click the bell. Bye.